All right, so let's move into the angles that we're building toward the bash. We'll go more or less in order of the card. To start with, J.J. Dillon. At the time, he was managing Ron Bass, who, of course, fans would later recognize as Outlaw Ron Bass and the WWF. Just about a month before the bash, Bass had unsuccessfully challenged Ron Garvin for the NWA National Championship, and if memory serves, that one ended in a disqualification.
Shortly after that setback, Dillon began to shift his focus. He started courting Nature Boy Buddy Landel. Now, some younger fans may raise an eyebrow and ask, Nature Boy? Isn't that Ric Flair's moniker? The answer is yes, but Landel was also billed as the Nature Boy, and as I recall, that was not by accident.
That's right. The idea was very deliberate. Landel, carrying the Nature Boy title, created a natural collision course with Flair himself. At the time, the groundwork was being laid for an eventual showdown between Ric Flair and Buddy Landel, two men with the same nickname, the same swagger, and the same ego. Dillon's maneuvering with Landel set the stage for some very intriguing possibilities leading out of the bash.
You know, for years, fans asked why they couldn't see the Great American Bash 1985. Of all the Crockett events, that one stayed locked away. No home video, no TV replay, nothing. It was like the wrestling's version of a lost film reel. Then finally, 40 years later, in current time, 2025, WWE put it in the vault. Well, gee, that took long enough.
Well, technically, there was something. Pro Wrestling Illustrated produced a home video called Ring Masters, and yes, yours truly was the host. But let's be honest, it was a heavily clipped one-hour sampler of the bash. You got a taste, but nowhere near the full-course meal. Fans back then had to make do with that diet version, while the Crockett family kept the full footage under lock and key.
So I always wondered, was the Great American Bash 1985 released right on the front of Pro Wrestling Illustrated, or was it something you had to hunt down in stores? So how did that work? Did PWI actually put out their own VHS tapes back then?
They did indeed. The Apter mags, Inside Wrestling, The Wrestler, and Pro Wrestling Illustrated all ran ads for those tapes. That's how you got Ringmasters, Superbouts, and some of those other compilations. They weren't cheap either. For 1985 to 86 prices, you really had to shell out. And no, you weren't finding them on the shelf at your local rental shop. Not often, anyway.
Yeah, but if you wanted those tapes, you had to go the old-school route, fill out the order form in the magazine, mail it in, and then wait the dreaded 6 to 8 weeks for delivery. Kids today get instant streaming, but back then the real challenge wasn't watching wrestling. It was surviving the wait. By the time the tape finally arrived, you half expected it to come with a congratulatory note. You made it!
Yes, and keep in mind, Bass and Black Bart had previously been aligned, even holding the Mid-Atlantic Tag Team Championship together. That title eventually faded from the picture, leaving Bass with the Mid-Atlantic singles belt. There was a bull rope match with Buzz Tyler where Dillon interfered, and Landel joined in as well. Their attempt to help actually backfired, costing Bass dearly in that contest.
Exactly, and that's when things turned violent. After the match, Bass snapped. He went after Landel, only to get double-teamed by Dillon and Landel, who laid him out with a cowbell. That brutal attack left Bass seething and set the stage for this feud. By the time the bash rolled around, Bass wasn't just looking for a win, he was out for blood. And listen to this crowd, Gordon. They are letting Buddy Landel know exactly what they think of him and Dillon. Landel is strutting out here in a sequin robe, oozing arrogance, and the fans are booing him out of the stadium.
J.J. Dillon, the manager of champions, as he likes to call himself, is right by Landel's side, undoubtedly to tip the scales in Landel's favor. But here comes Ron Bass, and what an ovation. The cowboy is marching to the ring, bullwhip in hand, and this crowd loves it. Bass has vengeance in his eyes.
Wait, Bass tosses his cowboy hat to the fans, and he's pointing that bullwhip right at Dillon and Landel. The tension here is electric. You can feel how much Bass wants to get his hands on both Buddy Landel and J.J. Dillon.
Indeed, Tony. Bass is a rugged competitor, a true outlaw, and Dillon's interference in Bass's career has lit a fire under him. The referee is getting that bullwhip out of the ring and signaling for the bell.
There's the opening bell, and Buddy Landel immediately slips out to the floor. The Nature Boy is in no hurry to lock up with Ron Bass.
Landel's stalling, and these fans do not like it. They're jeering as Landel struts around ringside, arrogantly waving off Bass. He's trying to dictate the pace, maybe play mind games.
Classic 1980s strategy from Landel. Frustrate your opponent early, Bass needs to stay patient. He's glaring a hole through Landel, but he's not taking the bait to chase him.
Now Landel cautiously climbs on the apron. Bass lunges. Oh! Landel hops back down. He's in full retreat again. Bass is fed up and he's rowing outside after him.
Bass just rammed Buddy Landel face first into the steel ring post at ringside. Landel tried to run, but the cowboy caught him and introduced him to the post. That's one way to stop the stalling, gentlemen.
Landel is already in trouble. He's staggering, and Bass is signaling to the crowd. He might be going for a test of strength here, but he's daring Landel to lock up knuckle to knuckle.
Interesting choice. Bass towering over Landel, hands raised. Landel's hesitating. The fans are egging him on, and Landel goes for it. They lock hands. This is not wise for Landel. Bass has the power advantage.
And he drives an elbow right into the shoulder, wisely applying a top wrist lock, he's trying to wear the big man down. Slow that power offense. Landel scrambles to the ropes and the ref calls for a break. Bass releases cleanly, but Landel with a cheap shot chop. The moment Bass backs off. Bass staggers and Landel capitalizes with a knee lift to Bass's gut.
Oh no, just raked Bass's eyes from behind the referee's back. Did you see that? Landel drags Bass up again and knife edge chop across the chest. Bass is leaning against the apron, just trying to stand. Another ringing chop by Buddy Landel. Bass is in trouble, folks. Listen to this place come alive. Bass breaks free. He just flung Landel off. Landel hits the mat but quickly charges, and Bass decks him with a big right hand.
Absolutely despicable. Dillon dragging his fingernails down Bass's back as well, while Landel distracts the referee. Ron Bass is hurt, and the official didn't catch it.
Landel with a handful of Bass's hair, and he rams Bass's head right into the timekeeper's bell. My gosh, that bell just rang with the impact. Bass is down, clutching his head. Now Ron Bass is gasping for air, holding his throat. He might have been strangled unconscious if Landel hadn't let go. The referee's count forced Buddy to roll in and back out, which he does now to dish out more punishment. Landel finally shoves Bass back into the ring, and you can see the confidence on Buddy's face. He thinks he's got this match well in hand now. Buddy Landel isn't letting up now. He pulls Bass up and applies a reverse chinlock, really grinding down on that neck and head. Landel has that forearm snug under Bass's chin, squeezing, trying to wear the big cowboy down.
Textbook strategy by Landel, as distasteful as his methods are. That chinlock cuts off Bass's air supply, slows the pace, and gives Buddy a chance to plot his next move. Bass's face is turning red. He needs to find a way out soon.
Bass counters with a sunset flip. Shoulders down, 1, 2. Oh, so close.
Landel just escaped that sunset flip pinning attempt. What a near fall for Ron Bass. He nearly surprised Landel there.
What a comeback by Ron Bass. He has taken everything Landel and Dillon threw at him, and he's still fighting. Vertical suplex by Bass. He planted Landel into the canvas.
Excellent execution on that suplex. Bass floats over for the cover. 1, 2. No, Landel shoots a shoulder up at 2.5. That was extremely close.
Wait, there's the bell. The time limit has expired. This match is over. It's a time limit draw.
The 20-minute time limit has indeed elapsed, folks. The referee is signaling the match as a draw.
There goes Landel out of the ring. He just hightailed it as...
What an incredible fight we just witnessed. It's officially a time limit draw, but Ron Bass is the one left standing tall in that ring. The crowd has given Bass a standing ovation, despite there being no winner declared.
The fans here in Charlotte are cheering Ron Bass. He didn't get the decision, but he sure gave Buddy Landel and J.J. Dillon what was coming to them.
Bass certainly earned a moral victory tonight. He proved he could go the distance and that he won't be bullied by Dillon or Landel. However, the issue between Ron Bass and Buddy Landel is far from settled after this draw.
No question about that, Gordon. You have to believe Ron Bass will be demanding another showdown, and I'm sure these fans will love to see it. What a way to kick off the Great American Bash with an absolute slugfest.
That was an old-fashioned fight, Joe. I'm still buzzing. What a match. The Cowboy gave the Nature Boy a run for his money, and if they meet again, I'd bet on Bass to finally get the win he was seconds away from tonight.
It was an outstanding contest, Tony. Both men gave it their all, but time expired before either could secure a victory. In the end, Buddy Landel escapes with a draw, and possibly his hide, intact, thanks in part to the clock and Dillon's involvement.
Now this feud had a lot of heat behind it. Buddy Landel came in as J.J. Dillon's hot new prospect, and that left Ron Bass feeling betrayed. Dillon didn't just move on quietly after. He and Landel attacked Bass to drive the point home. Now that betrayal lit the fire for this match, and you could tell the crowd was ready to see Bass get his revenge.
And in terms of presentation, Buddy Landel was a fascinating figure. He looked remarkably like Ric Flair at that stage of his career, and there was clear intent to set up a Nature Boy versus Nature Boy program. Unfortunately, behind the curtain, Landel's personal issues, drug use, and other troubles derailed what could have been a marquee feud. Still, on this night, the drama in the ring was very real.
The fans absolutely came alive for Bass. Every punch he landed on Landel brought the crowd to its feet. They loved it. And while the match eventually ended in a time limit draw, which fit the story being told, it still left Bass standing tall in the fans' eyes. Watching this, you can't help but notice how much better Bass came across in the NWA compared to his later WWF run, where he was barely a blip on the radar.